It's looking like it's about to rain. Yep, but we're going to try to do some things to make some money. That's right, folks. Avery here, Southern Fried Knowledge. I'm going to show you a few ways you can turn junk into cash. Like, let's see, here's an example. We can show you how to make some money off of this old scrap compressor. It don't really work so good no more. You make some money off of it. These old chairs are done starting to be parted out. You could haul it off for scrap, but a 400-pound dental chair is going to net you about $3 in scrap. Don't quote me on the exact price, but you ain't going to make a lot of money off of 300 or 400 pounds of scrap metal. But take a little bit of time, a little bit of knowledge to know what might be worth something. You can turn these kind of things into a little bit of change, or some cold hard cash, however you want to look at it. Let's do some of that and see if we can avoid this ugly cloud looming over us. Hopefully it won't rain on us. We're not going to get a whole lot of stuff stretched out here. Anyway, let me go turn on some tunes, because I don't feel so good today, and sometimes the tunes make me feel just a little bit better. You know, everything goes good with music, if it's the right kind of music. So let me get started on that, shall we? Okay, and a quick little note on this compressor. This is copper, this is brass. You get you a wrench and take all these brass fittings off, save them as scrap brass. That's brass. That's brass. That's brass. Get as much of that brass off there as you can. Separate this copper. Good bit of copper in there, so you get a little bit of scrap off of that. What you can't scrap down, you can take for straight scrap. I could use this air hose on another compressor. Take that off and reuse it somewhere else and make me some money down the road. There's an on-off. You can scrap it or you can use it. Any of these, if this control box was good, I mean, if you want to get picky, you could save stuff like the light switch and stuff, but that's getting nickel and diamond. If it's going to take you more time to make 10 cents than it's worth, don't worry about it. You could scrap it. Plus, if you break this down, these things are lighter. You can take the motor loose from this impeller here. It'll make it lighter. Take all of that, dismount it off of there. Nothing else. You playing with Tinker Toys and breaking something down. If you got the free time. Now, if you're taking away from time you can make more money, you don't want to do that. Just like these chairs. These are activation switches and stuff on the sides. Take a couple screws out there. Take a couple screws out there. Can unplug this right there. Take this whole, you have the whole rear switch assembly right there. There's a control module in here. There's some other important parts down in here. Haven't got that exposed yet. There's actually some lift pistons and stuff. Sometimes that gets to where, and you don't, if you don't know it's going to sell, you don't want to fool with it. I've sold these arms off of these chairs before. I've taken them off and did pretty good. Dental equipment is pretty expensive, so if you got some working parts on there, I'll probably take that electric motor off this Dangeroo. There's a power supply for a light. Electronics, take some of these switches and stuff off. On these days like today, I don't feel real good. It's a Sunday, I'm not working. While I'm sitting around, might as well make a little bit of money, you know? So let's try to break some of this stuff down here. I want to get those chairs out of my way there, because I'm trying to make some more room in there. Not that I don't have enough chairs in here to keep me busy too. A lot of these you could sell as a chair though. And this isn't just about dental equipment, folks. I mean, you got some stuff that might be worth something, and you're just going to throw it away. Before you throw it away, scrap all the metal stuff you can scrap. You're going to get a little bit of money for that. It's better than throwing it in a trash can. Hauling stuff to the dump costs money. Hauling stuff to a metal scrap yard gets you money. If you can separate your metals like copper and brass and motors, electric motors and electric wire and stuff like that, you're going to get more money for those items that'll pay more. If it's just general purpose and you ain't breaking it down, just throw it on a regular scrap, such as we're doing with my scrap trailer over here. Never no telling what you might find on my scrap trailer. If I don't want to take the time to break it down, it goes on the scrap trailer. There's actually a motor on there. I could have took a little bit more time and broke that down. Water heater, just, you know, parts of lights. You do have to take the ballast off of lights. Old air compressor tank. But you get a load of scrap like this, you might not get $100 for that, but that's $100 you just threw away. And actually, if you took that to the dump, they're going to charge you about $30. So you're either going to pay $30 or you're going to make $100. How do you want to do it, you know? And that honestly, looking at that load there, that's probably about $70 worth of scrap. But still, $70, gas money if nothing else. When you get older, you start thinking about things like that. See, I got scrap here. I just ain't loaded it up on there. There's parts, if you got the time, you can get more out of it. There's a lift cylinder right there, a base lift. But I don't have the time to separate all of these. Anyway, I'm going to pause this so I can turn on some tunes, because like I said, I do not feel good today. Music makes me feel a little bit better. Let me get some music going. Try to break some of this down before this rain gets in here, and go from there. Thank y'all for watching if I don't get back to you today.